Welcome back, children. This is our final video. So we got to where Ivan saw the blank canvas. The wall. It's a big wall, but it's a big pile of dirt, and I'm a big artist. I slap handfuls of mud on the warm cement. I make a handprint. I tap my nose with a muddy finger. I make a nose print. I slide my palms up and down. The mud is thick and hard to use, but I keep moving and scooping and spreading. I don't know what I'm making, and I don't care. I make swoops and swirls and thick lines, figures and shapes, light and shadow. I'm an artist at work. When I'm done, I step back to admire my work. But it's a large canvas and I'd like to get a better view. I go to the thick-limbed tree and grab the lowest branch. I try to swing my legs. I land too hard. I'm too big to climb, I suppose. I try again anyway, and this time I pull myself onto the first limb, gasping for breath. One more limb, two, and I can't go any further. Perched halfway up the tree, I see my troops still dozing contentedly. I take in the wall, splattered and splashed with mud. Not much colour, but lots of movement. I like it. It feels dreamy and wild, like something Julia might have made. From my seat in the tree, I can see beyond the wall. I see giraffes and hippos. I see deer with legs like delicate twigs. I see a bear snoozing in a hollow log. I see elephants. Safe. She's far away, belly deep in tall grass with others by her side. Ruby. She's here, Stella, I whisper. Ruby's safe, just like I promised. I call to Ruby, but the wind tugs at my words, and I know she'll never hear me. Still, Ruby pauses for a second, her ears spread wide like tiny sails. Then, with lumbering grace, she moves on through the grass. Silverback. It's a cloudy evening, chill and drizzy. Dinner is on its way, but I don't care. At night we sleep in our den, but I'm always the last to head inside. I've been inside long enough. This time of day there aren't many visitors, just a few stragglers leaning on the wall that separates us. They point, take a couple of photos, then head over to the nearby giraffes. One of the keepers is beckoning. Reluctantly, I turn to go. Out of the corner of my eye, I see someone running. I pause. It's a girl with dark hair lugging a backpack. A man follows behind, racing to catch up. Ivan, the girl yells. Ivan, it's Julia. I scramble to the edge of the wide moat that skirts the wall. Julia and George wave to me. I dash back and forth, hooting and grunting, doing a gorilla dance of happiness. Calm down, says a voice. You're behaving like a chimp. I freeze. A tiny, nut-brown, big-eared head pops out of Julia's backpack. Nice place, Bob says. Bob, I say, it's really you? In the flesh. How? Where? I can't seem to find any words. George's job at the zoo doesn't start till next month, so he and Julia made an agreement. She's walking 3 extra dogs to cover my food. And get this, they're all poodles. You said you didn't want a home, I say. Yeah, Bob says, but Julia's mum likes my company, so I figure I'm doing everybody a favour. It's a win-win. Julia pushes Bob's head back inside her backpack. You're not supposed to be here, she reminds him. Ivan looks great, doesn't he, Jules? George asks. Stronger, happier even. Julia holds up a little photo, but it's too far for me to see. It's Ruby, Ivan. She's with other elephants now because of you. I know, I want to tell her. I saw with my own eyes. We stare across the expanse that separates us. After a while, George pats Julia's arm. Time to go, Jules. Julia gives a wistful smile. Bye, Ivan. Say hello to your new family. She turns to George. Thank you, Dad. For what? For, she gestures towards me, for this. They turn to leave. The lamps that light the zoo pathways blink on, blanketing the world with yellow light. I can just make out Bob's little head sticking out of Julia's backpack. You are the one and only Ivan, he calls. I nod, then turn toward my family, my life, my home. Mighty Silverback, I whisper. So, we finished the book, Ivan. So, as a little project, what I would like you to do is just read the author's note. The one and only Ivan, it's a work of fiction, but the inspiration for this imagined tale lies in a true story. So Ivan was a real gorilla, and he now lives at Zoo Atlanta. But on the way to that happy ending, he spent almost 3 decades without seeing another of his own kind. So that means 30 years. After being captured as an infant in what is now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ivan's twin sister died en route to the US or shortly after. Ivan was raised in a home until he became unmanageable. At that point, he was added to an odd collection of animals housed at a circus-themed mall in Washington state. So I just want you to think that this is based on an absolute true story. Ivan spent 27 years of his life alone in a cage. Over time, as an understanding of primate needs and behavior grew, public discomfort with Ivan's lonely state grew as well, particularly after he was featured in a National Geographic special entitled The Urban Gorilla. A public outcry followed, including heartfelt letters from children. When the mall where Ivan lived went bankrupt, he was placed on a permanent loan to Zoo Atlanta, which houses the largest group of captive western lowland gorillas in the nation. Ivan is now a beloved celebrity at Zoo Atlanta, where he lives contentedly with Kinyani and other gorillas. He is known for his paintings, which are often signed with his thumbprint. Ivan and Kinyani are real gorillas, and so, by the way, is Jambo, whose story Stella tells to Ivan and Bob. But all the other characters and situations in this novel are obviously just imagination. So basically, when the author got inspired by this true story, and she wanted to write her own story regarding Ivan, but obviously Ivan definitely exists, and so you can obviously research him and find out about Zoo Atlanta. The other thing I also want you guys to do is try and think about animals in captivity and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, the pros and cons, because sometimes animals are kept in captivity because they're last of their species, so they want to breed new ones so we don't lose the animal forever. And then obviously sometimes in captivity also means circuses and things like the mall where they kept the animals. So really have a think about it. And if you want, why don't you write a pros and cons or a little debate or a video and tell me, send that into Fab News or Mr. Jakes, and we can then put that onto Instagram, Fab News Repton Dubai. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this story, the one and only Ivan. And obviously, if you'd like to comment or anything like that, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for listening up to this and enjoying the story with me. Take care.